Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be creating some Farmhouse Valentine DIYs using items from Dollar Tree. I hope you find tons of inspiration and enjoy today's projects. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. For our first project, we're using this 4x6 frame from Dollar Tree. We're going to remove the twine and the beads from the front, and it has this nice wood grain background. We're also going to use some of their laser cut keys. They come with several different designs. I'm going to use two of those keys and apply a coat of antique wax on both sides and then wipe it down with a paper towel and allow those to dry. This is going to darken them up just a little bit so that they will match perfectly with these Grapevine heart wreaths from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take a piece of floral wire and feed one end through the key and then twist that around. And then I'll take the other end of the floral wire to attach it to the heart at the top by wrapping it around the center. And once I wrap that around a couple of times, I'm going to take the end of that floral wire and feed it underneath the wire that is wrapped around to give it a nice strong hold. And then I can cut that excess wire off. Then you have the cutest grapevine heart wreath with this dangling key. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other heart. So now that I have those two done, we're going to attach these to our frame. And I am using some hot glue, but if you want a more permanent hold, you may want to use some E6000. So I'm attaching the glue where the pieces will actually touch the back because it's not a completely flat surface on the hearts. So you just want to apply your glue where it's actually going to touch the back of the frame. And this turned out absolutely beautiful, but I would love to know what you guys think. For our next project, we are using this sign from Dollar Tree, and when I saw it, I just fell in love with it. I think it is so pretty, but we're going to spruce it up just a little bit. I'm going to replace the hanger with a piece of twine just by folding that in half and then feeding the center through the hole. Then I can take the other two ends and feed that through the loop, pull it tight, and then tie a knot at the end. And I also found this absolutely adorable metal envelope. It is so cute. This came from Dollar Tree. Let me know if you guys have seen them. I'm going to remove the bow and I'm going to replace that with one of Dollar Tree's heart wood ornaments. I'm going to fill this cute envelope with some mini roses. These came off of a bundle from Dollar General and they are absolutely beautiful. I'm going to add those inside of the envelope. I don't even need to glue them down. I'm going to glue the envelope itself to the bottom part of the sign, and then I decided to add in a few more roses just to kind of fill it up. And we're going to take one of Dollar Tree's wood word cutouts. They come 2 in a pack. And then I'm using a sponge brush and I'm going to give that 2 coats of white paint. And then once that dries, we're going to attach this to our sign using some hot glue right above our metal envelope. And I would have to say that I just love this love sign. For this project, you will need one of these decor pieces from Dollar Tree. We're going to cut the rings that hold these 3 together and remove that, and then turn it around to the back side and use a pair of scissors to cut in between those plastic pieces, and then the tinsel will come right off. So you're going to do this around the entire thing until there's no more tinsel on there and you're just left with the plastic frame. You're going to cut each one of those tabs off on the outside. You can use scissors for this. I actually found that using a pair of wire cutters gets you a much closer cut. So you're going to cut all those tabs on the outside and the inside of this frame. Now we're going to take a piece of foam board. We're going to trace the outside as well as the inside of the heart and then use a utility knife to cut this out. So this will become the backing to our plastic frame. So once you have it cut out, it should look something like this. Then we're going to attach our plastic frame on top of our foam board using some hot glue. And then if you have any rough edges on the inside or maybe some pieces that aren't flush with the plastic frame, you can take a piece of sandpaper to go over that and make it smooth and even. To decorate the outside as well as cover up that foam board, I'm using some Dollar Tree lace ribbon. It has a straight edge on one side and a design on the other side. So I'm going to hot glue the straight edge around the foam board itself on the outside of the heart until I get all the way around to the other side. And then I'm also going to hot glue this on the inside of the heart as well, again making sure that that straight edge is at the very bottom and that the decorative part is at the top. So it should look something like this. So it's going to cover the inside and outside edge of your frame. And then I'm going to use these beautiful mini yellow roses. These came from Hobby Lobby, but you can use whatever florals you like. I just absolutely love yellow roses. I'm going to attach this with some hot glue in between those plastic frame pieces. So I'm going to glue a rose around each of the inside of that frame where it has two sections. And then once I get that inside done, I'll go back and glue roses on the outside of that frame. So you'll have two sections of roses until it's nice and full and really pretty. And I did find that it was easier if you use some of the smaller ones at the very top and the bottom. Then you'll fluff out all your petals to make sure that all of your plastic framing is covered up. And then I'm going to take some of that same lace ribbon and feed that through the hole at the top to create a hanger. So I'm just going to tie that at the end, and then I'll be able to pull that knot to the back and you won't be able to see it. For project number 4, we're going to use the other two pieces of that Dollar Tree decor piece. We're going to remove all of that tinsel as well as those outside tabs. Then we're going to cut these two hearts apart. So you're just going to cut those tabs that are holding the two heart pieces together. So you're just left with that outside heart. We'll do the exact same thing on the other one, and we're also going to cut that tab at the bottom that had that ring in it originally. And then we'll take that smaller heart that we cut out, and we're going to cut all of the plastic tabs off of that. So you're left with two of the larger ones and one small one. Then we're going to hot glue some twine and start wrapping this smaller one with some twine. Now I only glued at the beginning and at the end. I just made sure that I held it really close together and tight as I was wrapping it to make sure that it doesn't come apart. So once you have your smaller one wrapped with twine, we're going to do the exact same thing for the larger ones. So the larger one, once I had it wrapped, I am also going to wrap the hook at the top so that we'll be able to use that as a hanger. And I'm going to wrap that around with some twine and then feed it through and wrap that just like I did the outside of the frame. And then I'm going to take a pencil and kind of go through there to make sure that I do have an opening so that we'll be able to add a hanger. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that second larger heart just like that. And now I have them all on my silicone mat because I'm going to take a lighter and very carefully singe each one of these to be able to remove all of those fuzzies. Just be real careful not to burn yourself. I just went around each side, made sure that they're nice and clean looking because that twine has a lot of frayed edges. Now we're going to put the smaller heart inside one of the larger ones. I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape and tape the end of a piece of twine so that I can feed that through the opening at the top and pull enough down to be able to attach the smaller heart to that using some hot glue. So you kind of want it to dangle a little bit, so you want a little bit of space between the two hearts. And I did that on the back side. I'll take the other end of the twine. Again, I taped that up so I'll be able to feed that through that opening, and then I can tie a knot on that heart. So now we have a really pretty hanger at the top. Now we're going to attach these together overlapping, so I'm going to place some hot glue where the two hearts overlap. And we're going to take one of Dollar Tree's wood words. We're going to give that 2 coats of white paint, and I made sure to paint the outside edges as well. We're going to attach that to the heart on the left. So I just placed some hot glue at the top, and then I'll place some glue where the letters meet the actual heart itself. Then taking some lace ribbon from Dollar Tree, or it's burlap trim ribbon, I'm going to create a small bow just by overlapping those loops and then tying it in the center with the same twine, and then I'll take that twine and attach it to the hanger at the top. Project number 5, we are using one of Dollar Tree's 10-inch bead wreath forms. I'm going to take where the two pieces meet together, we're going to bend that in half. So it is very easy to bend, and once you kind of get that bent into a half circle, the opposite end, not the end where the two pieces connect, we're going to bend that over a little bit so that we can form the shape of a heart. So when you open it back up, it's going to look like a heart, and then you could take that bottom piece and kind of pinch it together to make more of a point at the bottom. And you may have to go to the top and kind of round the top part of the heart out. Now, I think maybe Dollar Tree does carry some of these wood bead hearts, but I couldn't find any, so I just took one of their wreath forms and I'm going to make my own. I cut a couple of stems of Dollar Tree green foliage off, and I'm going to overlap them end to end and attach them in 3 different places using some floral wire. Just make sure to keep your floral wire open at the top because we're going to add some more. So once I have all of that attached, I'm going to be using some gorgeous mini roses from Dollar General. This large bundle was $3, so I cut a couple of those off. We're going to overlap them end to end and make sure all of your leaves are facing forward in the front. I went ahead and attached these 2 pieces with some floral wire to make sure it's nice and sturdy and the 2 end pieces don't come apart. Then I can set this on top of the Dollar Tree greenery and attach that with the 3 pieces of floral wire that I left open at the top. Then I'll cut all of that excess floral wire off and kind of bend my ends around so that it'll take the shape of the heart. Using some Dollar Tree Valentine ribbon, I'm going to create a simple bow just by kind of overlapping it and creating loops so that I have 3 loops on each side and that I leave enough length for the tails. So it should look something like this. I'm going to tie it in the center with a piece of twine, double knotting it, and then leave that twine on there because that's how we're going to attach it to our wreath form, but I made sure to fluff out those loops first. Then I can double knot that on the back, and I will add a little bit of glue just to make sure my knot doesn't come apart and it doesn't fall off, and then I'll cut that excess twine off and go ahead and dovetail both of the tails of the bow. Then I'm going to kind of tuck it around under some of the roses and the greenery. And then I'm going to hot glue another rose to kind of balance out the wreath form. And then I added a tiny little rose bud right in the center of the bow. Then I'll create a hanger using some twine. Now I do recommend that you probably need to add the twine at the tops of the hearts, the two loops at the hearts, because it is kind of heavier on one side, so it kind of leans to the side. So if you kind of want it to hang even, make sure that you add that to the two loops at the top. But this is absolutely gorgeous. I love how this project turned out. So you guys, if you have a favorite out of today's video, let me know in the comments section down below. I always love to know which one is your favorite. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button right below this video. Thanks for taking time out of your day to spend with me. Please take care, and I will see you guys next time.